Okay, welcome back. We're going to do chapter 2. So here we go. We're on path
Thistle
A.
vines tear at your arms as you dash by tortured tree trunks and splash through the soggy underbrush, desperate to distance yourself from the encroaching beast. You know it's there, but dare not turn to look. Don't trip. Your heart clenches as you feel the hot animal breath at your back. The weapon, where is it? The thing is gaining. The thudding footfalls pound in your ears. A rising shadow looms over you. Then, nothing. No more branches being torn behind, no more splashing. You slow, then walk and eventually stop, breathless and terrified. You look to one another. Samuel comes up. The last of you, as always. He wipes his brow and shakes his head. It's gone, he says, adjusting his leather strap breastplate with one hand and grabbing the wire road with the other. You return his faint smile and face back to the path. Suddenly, there is a loud, plucking thrum on the wire behind you. You turn as Samuel is pulled, screaming, into the deep wood. Something huge surges from the trees, orange eyes flashing.
Okay, we each do a survival check. Difficulty 4. Alright, well, we'll start with the witch. Difficulty 4, huh? That means I'm rolling at least 4 dice. Maybe even more. Because if I roll blanks and ones, I'm going to fail. Yeah, I'm going to roll 5 dice. And of course, I rolled a mess. 2, 3, 4, 5. We passed. Alright, and then we're going to move over to the blade here. 2, 4, 6, but 2 failures. Oh, all the tokens, by the way, are gone. Because we're on a new chapter. So it was a use it or lose it thing. So since he failed, he loses a health. And trust me, we need all the health we can get in chapter 2 here. So that's a huge loss. Okay, next we're going to do is the cur. Cur also failed. That's not good. And then last but not least is the warden. Also failed. Man, that's a lot of hit points lost.
You dive into the cover of the woods, flailing your arms to clear the path of vines and blankets, as you suddenly find yourself lying in the straw mattress bed of the broken oak. You look quickly around. Each of you, now startled awake, sits in blankets and pillows, damp with sweat. Some of your sheets are streaked in blood, where you have clawed your own skin. One look at each other confirms you all saw the same thing. No debate is necessary as you gather your gear and head downstairs to clear your heads. Seeing Samuel die again has shaken everyone, though it hadn't been like that the first time. No one had seen what happened to him then. One thing is sure, that was more than just an ordinary nightmare.
Okay, I'm just making sure everybody has a redraw token. These lethality tokens, getting 5 of them was not easy. We ended up winning the battle before that ever happened. And done. And we started on place 13. So where we're at, we are here.
As you finish a shared plate of cheese and roots carefully prepared by innkeeper Bram, Greycane, the fableman and proprietor of the Broken Oak, works his way across the crowded room and sits himself at your table, sporting a jovial look. I've seen corpses look better than you lot. Hell's even my ex-wife could summon a better face on a bad day, and she was a Cistercian. You wonder at how a man from a town like Bastone would ever have come to marry one of the famously religious, famously celibate people. Greycane breaks your reverie with a question. Leaning in, his countenance changes, eyes dark and voice low. Having bad dreams, are we?
Sorry, I'm eating something and I needed to talk. He said Sister Sertian when he pronounced that. He's a great, like, this narrative thing is good. So, but I do like picking on him. He does pronounce some words funny sometimes. Um, I think we were good with the don't reply from last time, so I'm gonna stick with that.
Your silence answers him. He nods in acceptance and goes to leave you in peace, doing so with a suggestion. Take it from an old traveller. I've seen things no one wants to see. Now, I'm not one to pry, but I'd say this. Go and see Lysine, the apothecary. Let her help. Also, listen to your dreams. They're there to teach you something.
So they want us to see the apothecary and also listen to the dreams.
The banksmith, Gamel, enters the tavern, clearly agitated. He heads to Greycane and urgently puts a three-fingered hand on his shoulder. Greycane turns to the man, concern on his face. What is it, old friend? Tam, have you seen him? He's not come home, Gamel replies. Oh, you know what youth are like. I think you might have even been one once. With a face like that, you must have gotten yourself lost more than once, he says encouragingly to the thick-armed banksmith. Bram lets out a short laugh, clearly deciding Gamel has a face only a mother could love. Gamel eyes Bram briefly before continuing. Please, he's all I have. Of course, replied Greycane. I'll put out word for him with my contacts. Gamel nods gratefully and leaves the tavern. Greycane shakes his head. He's not the first to be looking for someone. Tam is a good one. Perhaps he has intentionally got himself lost, but my gut tells me otherwise. As the silence lingers, your eye is drawn to the window of the tavern. Staring back at you through the glass, unmoving, is Samuel, your fallen comrade, face gaunt, eyes accusing. You blink, and he is gone. As you rise from your seat, you are interrupted.
Okay, this time we do have him as an ally.
Having appeared from nowhere, young Midge and his uncontrolled mop of hair slides easily next to Greycane. I've a message for you from High Lord Davinish himself. Got up extra early, too, to be sure I was the one that got to give it to you. I'd rather be waking than the dreams I was having last night. He wants you at the palace. I've a chance to prove myself to a new and rich client. So do me right and show him that I got you straight away. Oh, and that'll be 1 iron for the runner, he says innocently, holding out his palm.
Oh, come on, another iron?
Having appeared from nowhere, young Midge
Okay. One iron gone. And then we're going to go to location 10.
The palace has seen better days, its lustre worn away by the many thousands of lives that have trodden its halls. Bastone, like every settlement to have survived, is bursting at the seams with humanity. The presence of the Deepwood, forever ensuring space and materials, are more precious than people. Even here, the press of bodies can be felt as petitioners line the outside corridors, while inside, hundreds of menials and servants scurry about their tasks. You are led under guard to the high hall and told to wait before an ornate double door. A master servant appears through the door and looks you up and down suspiciously.
Okay, so last time we did not have both the witch and the warden in your party. This time we do. I don't think this is going to help us, but let's see.
Oh, vile, the servant spits. Warden, that thing cannot enter my lord's presence, pointing to the witch. No disrespect to one of the Inquisition, but I humbly request you stay with it to protect us all. The servant spits again towards himself, then ushers the rest of the free company into the antechamber, leaving you with a number of the Lord's personal retinue. They eye your witch with visible hatred, and one spits in her face as she stared vehemently back. My Lord Warden, one of them pipes up, we don't know how you teach your pets in Verum, but we make sure they learn not to look us in the eye like that here. He takes a step forward and grips an iron cudgel. May we show your pet some manners.
Jeez Louise. They don't treat the witches very good here, do they? I think releasing control of the witch for a second, while that is a social justice warrior thing to do, um, would not be appropriate here. So we're definitely not letting him strike our witch. That is not in the cards. I know she's more than capable of handling herself, so I don't need the commentary about that, but we're going to do this one.
The man sprawls, your mailed hand splitting his lip and spraying blood across the floor. The man turns in shock, never thinking you would protect a witch. With disgust, he slowly rises and returns to his post without a word, nursing his jaw.
That's exactly how it's done. See, letting her protect herself as much as she could have proven to him that she was powerful or whatever, all it does is it feeds into their superstition that witches suck. That's the thing people don't get. If you want to resolve something properly, you got to resolve it at the source of truth, not just confirm their bias.
In the antechamber, the servant ushers you forward. Welcome, honoured guests, you are most timely. My lord awaits within. I would ask you to leave your weapons here, but I know your oath. We honour the pact. But if you must carry them, please refrain from any sudden movements. There will be crossbows trained on you at all times. This way, please. The master servant claps his hands, and double doors open, allowing you to pass. Within is a grand hall of art stone and skylights. No amber torches are needed to light this place. My Lord Davenish, may I present the Free Company from Verum? Davenish is a portly man with a tight-cropped black beard and piercing eyes. He rises from behind a long meeting table, bedecked in bowls and dishes of fine food. The rat catchers. Good. I trust you're rested. Without waiting for a reply, he continues. Your service to my town is noted, but I must ask something else of you. He looks disgustedly at the bowl of fruit set to the side of the table and slams his fist next to it. He plucks a now crushed insect up. Cockroaches. They're everywhere. This town has an infestation. Not this kind of bug, though. Something more insidious and harder to kill. Have you heard of the Piper? You shake your heads. A cult leader. A traitor, Davenish continues. He preys on the weak-minded and draws them to him with promises of streets full of food and iron if they will but join him in overthrowing the natural order of things. His gang of thugs have been attacking my patrols and sacked several shops. He must be stopped. Without the natural order, where lords shepherd the people, the peasantry would collapse into anarchy. They cannot rule themselves, let alone others. This ignorant fool, he would doom us all. There will be blood in the streets, and it won't be on my hands. No town or city can survive a civil war with the deep wood at the gates. So I ask you, will you break from hunting witches and bogeymen to run this man to ground? I know this is not your contract here, but I will see you are handsomely rewarded for your efforts. This town has stood for over 500 years, and never once has the line of lords broken faith with the pact. Now the town needs you. Will you break faith with it?
Okay, so as you know from my first playthrough, we only made it through 2 chapters, and then we did the story for chapter 3. And that's where I stopped at the time of this recording. So I know chapter 2 in some ways, and the boss that we're going to end up fighting is very likely this Piper person because he uses mind control and manipulation. Hallucinations is the right word I'm looking for. He uses hallucinations to manipulate people. So I have no doubt that the actual boss is the Piper. So we upset the Lord here by refusing the contract, or if we agree to do it, we're still going to be hunting the source of our dreams. Like in both ways, they both lead to the same place. I can see that now. Um, this is telling me that we can't do both. The only reason I'm going to refuse the contract again is because there's a murder mystery thing, and we almost solved it last time, and I want to solve it this time. We were so close. We had it all the clues, and I got, I think, one thing wrong. Obviously, it's the last thing because as soon as I got it wrong, everything went to pot. But we're gonna try to refuse the contract. So we go to path B, and we gain a +2 animus token.
You deny the Lord, who dismisses you angrily, and you make your way back onto the street. There is more than flesh and bone to worry about here. Some sort of shared vision is infecting your sleep. You've heard enough whispers around town to know you're not the only ones experiencing these nightmares. You thought it had been the rat killings, putting the glint of fear into passers-by. But there is still something haunting the people. You set about to finding as much as you can about the dreams of the townsfolk. There is a slow pulsing feeling around this fear, a pendulum swinging closer and closer, the creeping doom that incessantly pricks at the corners of your mind. Something is going to happen soon. Across the street, the dead eyes of Samuel survey you as he smiles. There is the sound of a thrum on the wire road, and he is gone.
Okay, so the dude supports me. Something's going to happen today. Trying to find out who, what, where. Go to that location at the right time and try to stop whoever, whatever is about to happen. You'll be rewarded if you can do this in time. Um,
You deny the Lord, who dismisses you.
so we got all these locations, and I'm gonna once again move this to the other screen. And we know that we have to be at the town square, and I believe from a timing perspective, we got there around here, or we didn't. I don't think get to here. We are on path B, so one of the things we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the apothecary because we know that they advised us to, and there was several other people who advised the same thing. So we're gonna just get that out of the way right away.
On top of a tenement building, you find the apothecary. Her small hut is surrounded by a garden of herbs, the greens a stark contrast to the slate-black roofs and brown timbers of the rest of the town. It strikes you that there is no crowd outside. Every apothecary you have ever seen has been accompanied by a hive of people jostling to have their ills tended to. Here, there was no one. As you come closer, you see why. Hastily scrawled letters proclaim witch on the side of the hut, and its lone window is broken. Lysine sits slumped on a stool, herbs, powders, and several rocks scattered about the floor. She holds a bloody rag to her head. Come to collect a witch? She asks, looking up painfully. That's what the crowds want, isn't it? If you don't, they will. I've a growing collection of rocks to tell me that. You stay alert with this woman, but you know better than most that only a handful of witch hunts actually involve a witch.
Okay, last time we went straight to telling her about our dreams. She basically said she's having them too. It wasn't very informative. Let's ask her what happened.
You ask how this started, and she explains. His name was Jared, a labourer who caught a wasting sickness. I tended to him, but try as I might, he slipped away, leaving a family of 5. His youngest says I hexed him, and that was amber to a flame. She looks up at you for the first time, a faint smile on her face at the kindness of your question. You tell her about your dreams as Grey Cane suggested. Many who come to see me have had bad dreams, and I won't lie, I have them too. None of my remedies work on them, though. Last night I dreamt I was in the marketplace. There was no one there, though, and it was cold as the grave.
So that's how we know that it's at the marketplace, and we can start a trade with the
You
apothecary.
ask how this started, and
So we can buy some more of those curatives, but they're 2 iron each. Last time at this time, we were sitting on 20 iron, and we spent 10. I'm on 7 iron. I can't spend any at this point. Um, I know we need to get equipment. So we can pay for a runner, which I can't afford, or we're going to go and visit Greycane. And we're definitely going to go visit Greycane. So that's location 19.
the banksmith half-heartedly nods as you enter. Bad days, Gamel snorts, wiping oil from his hands on a leather towel. Worse nights, he continues, speaking to no one. Seen my boy, Tam? He asks as he tiredly gestures to his wares on display. You come and tell me the second you do, right? He's been out of sorts, screaming in the night like a witch had him. You know what I dream? A damned butcher's knife. Not one I forged, though. No workmanship to it. This thing is cruel. Now, maybe I made a few too many recently, but it's all I see. Anyway, let's move on. Do your business.
Okay, so we know the where, marketplace. We know the what or why or what weapon. We know the weapon. It's the butcher's knife. So we need to get. Each of these are going to cost 2 because it's chapter 2, and you can see the 2 at the bottom. So I'm either going to do the critical thing, or we get to draw a red on the first attack. Um, I like that one more than the critical, I think. The spear isn't bad either, especially since the warden could use some ranged attacking. Uh, Remember, because we said he doesn't have enough attack, so this would give him a +2 damage, range 3 thrown attack. So in case he can't get to the enemy in time, I like this one. I actually think that might be better than being able to draw a red. Um, I'm just looking at the other stuff here. The shield's nice, but we don't need to pay for the shield. Alright, so we're going to get this for the warden. And just drop it here, flip it over, spin it around. Alright, so he got a nice, really nice spear. And I thought that we needed one more item. I'm just looking real quick. No, don't need anything. Oh, I was thinking of getting the shiv. If there was another one. See, when you critical, you battle flow a card, but see, that gives him another yellow. So that just means the cur is that much better. Um, so this knife here has the same ability as the other one, but I would have 2 yellow, so when he attacks, he gets to draw or roll 2 yellow dice instead of 1. The question is do I want to spend 2 more of my iron when I'm down to 4 right now? And my thoughts are is I sort of want to, and then even just hold on to it, and then this is the item he destroys at the end of the battle, assuming he doesn't get KO'd. Because that's the other thing too, is remember you're destroying an item at the end of every battle, and it's one that you have equipped. So I could spend all this money for another shiv, like this one, but then I'm losing it at the end of the battle because I got to lose one of these 3 items. So there's a part of me it's like, well, I leave the crappy one there, and that one gets destroyed, and then I worry in chapter 3 how I'm going to replace it. So I'm going to do exactly that. We're done, and I think I'm going to go here, and we're going to spend 2. 1, 2. So we went from 8 down to 7. Oh, yeah, I miscalculated. We have 5, not 4. but that's okay. Also, I know when we go into the encounter, we're going to each get one defense. I don't have them now, but I'm just going to do it now while I remember. I also don't think that there's many checks that you can use a defense, so we're going to go ahead and because in the story mode, you do your check. You either pass or you fail. If you fail, you lose a hit point. There is no defense calculation. All right, where are we going to go next? So we got the who, we got the where, and the with what. We don't have the who, and we never did sort of figure that out last time. I think I got lucky with my guesses. I mean, I assumed that no old men and no young people. I mean, my logic was good. I think I still got a little bit lucky. Oh, I need to see the map. 1 second. So, location 2 is the archive. We went there and we learned that the, what's his face? The previous one committed suicide. All these people were committing suicides. We went to the church and the guy was disappointed in us, if I remember. We went to the underways and she was useless. 11. Where's 11? I never went to the tower. There's the market, and we never went there. We know about town square. I don't remember if we went to 16. 20. Oh, there's the stockade. We didn't go there last time. And then the burrows. I do think we went there. That's actually where we found the kid, if I remember correctly. One of these was where we found the parents that had killed each other. So we do want to find the mute boy. Oh, which one was it? The burrows are 16. We're going to go ahead and do 16. Oh, I'm missing an instruction. 1 second. Butcher's knife seems important. You may start a trade with the banksmith.
The banksmith half-heartedly nods as you enter. Bad days, Gamble snorts, wiping oil from his hands on a leather towel. Worse nights, he continues. You enter the watering hole, and more than half of the ragged patrons gather round a corner table, engaged in some game. Soon there is a shout of anguish. One man punches another in the jaw, and they are both quickly escorted past you to the street. Their loss, eh? A young man with one white eye shrugs as he clears some iron from the table. He eyes you and smiles. Care to try?
Okay, we didn't go here. It was the burrows with the boy. And I think the butcher's knife clue means we need to go to the market. That's what I think that clue means. So, anyways, let's. So we can either play a round of Charl or choose a location to go. I'm going to play the round of Charl. Each one that chooses to play must place an iron in the center. Place 2 iron from the supply to represent the other players. Each Oathsworn that places 1 iron performs a gambling check. After all cards are drawn, each player may once play 1 iron into the center of play to redraw a card. If any Oathsworn check is above 6, the free company gains all the iron in the center of play, and all Oathsworn gain a redraw token. So, we need to get a 6 or higher? Ooh. That would be brutal. And all this is to get 2 iron. So, it makes no sense. Well, here, to analyze this. Let me drag this over so you can see what I'm seeing. 2 iron goes into the supply. That's all we're going to win for winning this, is 2 iron. All these other iron being put in is being put in by us. So if I put in 1 iron with one of my guys, I have a chance of winning 2 if I can get a 6. The redraw happens if I'm willing to put in another iron. I can redraw 1 card. I can do that 1 time. So, if I got a blank or whatever, I can try to get 1 more, non-blank. to get up to that 6. Um, every other Oathsworn who puts money into this, that's my money I'm losing. And we're still only going to get 2. So if I have 3 Oathsworn put their money in and they each put in 1, and then they're putting in a second one to help them win, then, and let's say I fail, I just lost all that iron. Now, there's 2 ways to look at this. One is only 1 Oathsworn should play, because all that's at stake is 2 iron, so you're going to bet 1 to win 2. The other way to look at this is all 4 Oathsworn should put an iron in, because you get it all back. It doesn't matter which Oathsworn wins, they get it all. So the first one plays, he bets the second iron, he fails. Second one plays, bets the second iron, he fails. And then by the time you get to the last person, assuming you win at least 1 time, you get it all back. But man, oh man, you're betting big. We're very low on iron, so we're going to go ahead and do this.
As you play, you listen to the other patrons and hear one mention that Gamel seems to be out of sorts, but there is no talk of bad dreams on this side of town.
Alright, so we learned that this side of town is safe, which is good. Alright, so we're gonna bet, and it's a 6. We gotta survive. So I'm gonna take this 5 out and put 4 in. And everybody's betting. So we're gonna actually bet. Actually, I only needed to put 1 in because we're gonna bet 4 of our 5. There's only 1 left, and so we bet 4, and there's 2 more. So this is the pool right here. There's 6. So we're not going to use dice. Dice is a wrong move in this type of thing. We want to control the cards. So we know that there's 18 cards. 6 of them are blank. And we're going to draw. We need to get 6 to win this. So I'm going to draw 5. I did not shuffle, did I? That was an amazing... Well, hold on. If I did not shuffle, the next one should be a 1. It was not. This thing is shuffled. Let's make sure. Yeah, there's a blank. 2, 3. Yeah, and then there's a 2. That was shuffled, folks. Oh my gosh, did we roll amazing. Okay, well, we just took all the good cards. There's like nothing left for us if we want to draw from there, but we passed. Alright, so now we get 6. We put in... We had 5, and now we should have 7. Alright, so we win. Okay, so let's go to a new location. I know we're going to get the Mute Boy here, so let's do that. I know we're running out of time. I want to get the Mute Boy and I want to go to the market. So let's do this. 24. This triggers a city event. So we're going to do exactly that. I'm going to hit R, draw our event, and let's see what we got. If Cedric is not a part of your company anymore... Cedric? Do I have Cedric? Oh, Cedric's the rat catcher. I didn't even realize that. So here we go. Checking your backpack, you discover someone has stolen, spelled wrong, your bandages and replace them with a brace of dead rats. Archive 1 curative card from the injury deck and reshuffle. You're a jerk, mister. So he caused one of the archive cards from here to go away. And archive in this case does mean that it gets shuffled back in, I guess. My apologies there. Well, that stinks. Alright, so Cedric is done. Gonna shuffle that. Make sure that we don't draw Cedric this time. See, he's at the top again. Never mind, this did not shuffle. See, he's still at the top. This thing's not working. So let's just make our own deck. We're making our own deck. We're not using his nonsense. And I'm also taking our curative card and I'm putting it back. I'm putting them all back. That's a Goonies quote. So I know the idea. Like he did this so you don't see the top card here, but it doesn't do us any good if the thing doesn't shuffle whenever you hit the R button. So shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Here we go. This is the one we're drawing. Small mana surrounded by Gruber's Game of Cups for 2 iron each. Each Oathsworn chooses if they want to play. This is one where we have to pass a check and catch him lying. So it's 2 iron each. So we're looking at, for each of us, that would be 8 iron. If all 4 of us want to play. We only have 7, so that means 3 of us are going to play. I know this is going to do a check, but because we had this before. It's a difficulty 6. If everybody's failed, they lose 2. If any succeed, all Oathsworn gain 2 as you catch the man in the act. So we will get 8 iron for this. That's why I wanted to do it. So we're risking 2. We need to get 6. And here's the thing. We drew a lot of really good cards. So out of this 13, there's 6 bad ones in there. Or I just roll dice. Rolling dice is tricky. But I'm going to go ahead and we're going to roll 4 dice to get a 6. Should I do that? Yes. And we're going to start with the blade. Alright, so we drew 2 blanks. I hate to say, okay, I'm going to fail. But this is horrible. We only got 2 ones. Alright, so now we're going to move to the witch. There we go. We got 2 crits. The witch is going to play her redraw token. Perfect. 2, 4, 5. And then this is the first crit. The second crit. Oh, come on. One more. 6. Alright, so she played her redraw token. She won, thankfully. And so we end up getting 8 iron. And this is where we came to play. We finally got our iron back up to a respectable number. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Very happy with that. Okay. Let's get all these dice out of the way. Alright, we passed the event. So then that gets just shuffled back in. Oh. There we go. Okay, so we did that. Oh, the burrows. Oh, I'm sorry. We did the event. Now we got to do burrows, which is 24.
Mud and slop fill the streets as you wade through the rain of the burrows. Here, a warren of tightly packed terraces cross and recross each other, as if they had been added again and again over the years in an attempt to create more space. As you walk under one of the overhead walkways, something splashes on the back of your hand. Not rain, blood. You look up and see a dark room connecting to the walkway. Climbing a nearby staircase, you find the door to the room ajar, a line of blood running from its entrance. Upon entry, you see two forms lying prone on the floor, thick shadows draped over them. A male and a female of middling age. They are covered in scratch marks and bruises. Household objects lie around the couple, broken and obviously used upon each other. These people killed one another. What could have possessed them to? A movement in the corner of the room catches your eye. Your hands go to your weapon. A pair of eyes peer out from the shadow, and a boy's face appears. He is no more than his 12th year. His clothes are dirty and his feet bare. He just stares at his parents. You try to talk to him to find out what happened, but he remains silent. He seems broken somehow, unable to speak of the horror he witnessed. It seems Bastone will have another street urchin before long when people find the room unclaimed.
Okay, we did this before. I'm very happy with the take responsibility for him. So we gain a redraw token.
You take some food from your pack and offer it to the boy.
I'll let you read it, just or hear it. We're going to also gain ally card 5.
He resists at first, but hunger wins out and he devours the scraps of dried meat. He cannot give you his name, so you must give him one. You coax the boy back from the room and out into the rain. It starts to wash the blood from his feet. You place a blanket around him, and for better or worse, you take him with you.
So we're taking number 5. And we just got another ally. The Mute Boy. And we're going to come up with a name for him.
You take some
Verbose.
food from your pack and offer it to the boy. He resists at first, but hunger wins out and he devours the scraps of dried meat. He cannot give you his name, so you must give him one.
Location we're going to go to is 1, 2, 3. Yep, our time lines up. We're going to go to the market. 12. And that covers up another spot.
The market square has a strange, hushed tone, and people look over their shoulders. It's evident that people have been having bad dreams here. There is a palpable pressure in the air, building to something. Angry men working long days pull carts through the street. Old women shake their heads and gossip in small clusters as they pause in the trading. The mood is tense, but whatever the pressure...
If we have not done so, each Oathsworn may purchase a defense token for 1 iron each. Oh crap. This is where the murder takes place. Not
you
the
see
town square.
Nothing yet.
We are supposed to go here. I just went here too early. So what it's saying is this this marker goes back. And then one of these goes here, like so. And then if we just change the state to 31, maybe 30? There we go. So that goes there. So that was our mistake. We were supposed to go to the market, not to the town square, and we're supposed to go here at this step. So, crap. I did that wrong. So we could go to the tower or the stockade. We never did either of those. The town square might be interesting too. Let's go to the stockade.
The stockades are empty, and a lone guard leans against one, eyeing all passers-by with suspicion as he grips his spear. Upon seeing you, he stands a little straighter. My lords, how may I serve? You mention you're no one's lord and ask about the strange dreams. Damned if I know, my lord, he replies, oblivious to your correction. Hell, there's some strange things happening, though. Not 10 days back they bring in these two thieves. I know them. It ain't all that big a town, you know, and they put them in stock and chain for the weekend. I go grab a bowl of potato come noon. When I get back, dead, both. They bit their own tongues out, spat them right there, and tried slicing their own wrists on their restraints. What witchery does that? Oh, come to think of it, my lord, there was some lad from one of the other squads mentioning dreams. I think they're watching on the wall today.
So we screwed up. We went to the market. We should have gone to the tower, which would have helped us. Okay,
The
so
stockades are empty, and a lone guard leans against one, eyeing all passers-by with suspicion as he grips his spear. Upon seeing you, he stands a little straighter. My lords, how may I serve? You may...
all right. So I made a bunch of timer tokens because what it's telling me to do is the 20 goes back, and then this goes in its place. But we know we need to be at the marketplace, so we're gonna go to the marketplace right now and put that there. And we're going to deal with location 12 right now.
There is a sense of foreboding as the orange sun sinks beneath the horizon. The market is bustling, even at this hour. Men and women, young and old, hurry about bartering and trading their often meagre wares. Samuel stands perfectly still in the centre of the crowd, head cocked to one side, staring at you. You know something is about to happen here. Someone is about to die, but who? If you can stop this, you might be able to track down the source of your dreams. Scanning the crowd, you see 3 distinct groups. A gang of children are dispersed amongst the stalls. Some are playing, others are keeping watch to see if the stall owners are distracted. On the other side of the market is a group of older men huddling round a table discussing a trade. Lastly, dispersed in the centre, is a group of women.
Okay, so we went through this logic last time. The children were dying. The old men didn't seem to be having the dreams. So we closed in on the women. Just by process of elimination, I didn't really have anything that told me it was the women, other than we knew that the witch was having the dreams too. So that's why we closed in on the women.
The women are going this way and that, crisscrossing your view. You need to focus on a few, or you will lose all of them. There are several women in black, several women carrying heavy loads, and several that are hooded.
Okay, so we went with the hooded last time, and that was the wrong choice. So we're going to go with women in black.
There are 3 women in black
Oh,
that
come
you
on.
can see.
Okay, we got
They are a
this.
distance from each other. Your sense of foreboding rises. It's happening. You must choose now. But which woman is it? One stands by a tinker stall, looking over the ironwork tools and cutlery. One is buying meat from a butcher. One is talking to a carpenter, whittling by the roadside.
We know it's the butcher's knife that was in the dream, so we're going to do the butcher. Choose an Oathsworn to be closest to the woman. Oh, we will choose the warden.
You close on the woman by the butcher's as she plucks the knife from the butcher's belt. He begins to protest, but then backs away, terrified of what he sees in her face. She turns, and you catch a glint of orange pass over her eyes as she strides into the crowd. You push bystanders aside in an attempt to reach her. She is heading for a nobleman, the weapon held low. She draws back her arm to strike and rams it forward. The closest of you catches her wrist, forcing her to drop the blade. Realizing the blow will not land, the woman screams and, like one possessed, rakes you with her nails and bites at your face.
Of
The
course.
woman struggles free and darts for an alley.
So let's take care of this first. The warden loses another hit point. Man, he's down to 4. All right, we got another set of instructions. All Oathsworn gain a redraw token. So 1, 2. The redraw token is nice because we don't want to be missing against this boss. This boss is horrible. And we're losing a lot of hit points here.
Bolting for the alley, you are determined to track down this murderer, this witch, or whatever it was. It does not take long. The alley leads to the outer wall, and as you run along the straight path, you see a figure atop the wall. As you close, you realize it is a woman dressed in black, swaying in a wind no one else feels. Why is she not escaping? The question is muted as you alight the stone stairway. Samuel stands next to the woman. He leans in, whispers in her ear, and gestures out to the deep wood, as if offering her a seat. The woman nods with a smile and steps to the edge.
So set your die to 1 if you wish to grab the woman, or to 2 to let her fall. Okay, so this is one of those deals where we actually solved the murder and we lost a hit point. Come on. It said we would be rewarded for figuring this out. So we're gonna try to grab the woman. Everybody's trying to grab the woman. So it says if anybody tried, I'm clicking on that. Now there's instructions. Each Oathsworn who tried to grab the woman performs a survival check, difficulty 5. And I remember we failed this last time. But let's not fail again. So we're gonna roll dice because I don't trust the cards. And we're gonna do the blade first. 2, 3, 4, but not 5. I'm gonna go ahead and do a redraw token. I know that's such a huge waste, but I'm so close to 5. I want to get it, and there it is. 2, 3, 4, 5. We pass. I don't need to do any more, so I'm gonna click for success, and I'm gonna bring this back over so you can see.
As the woman leans over the parapet, you grab her arm. She realizes she is no longer falling and becomes angry. Wheeling on you, she bites down on your hand hard. You instinctively let go, and she plummets from the wall.
We did this last time. I think we just got another token. You tried to save her because you might get a token. I just love that answer. uh, uh, I want to click on it just to see what it says. Let's do it. Oh, someone gained nothing. Oh, come on.
You run to the wall, and, as you look over, your blood runs cold. It is not the body impaled on the spikes that shake you, but the hand reaching from the deep wood towards it. You cannot see the creature for the trees, but the arm is immense. Roped muscles bunch under bristling fur. Claws wrap around the body and pluck it from the stake like fruit from a vine. Then, slowly, the arm is drawn back under the canopy, leaving a trail of blood in its wake. Stepping back from the edge, you rush to find the ropes. There is no time to wait till morning. Earth and root would soon drink the blood long before. That thing is responsible for what is happening to this town. You know what you must do. This is often how these things begin. You prepare to follow the blood.
Alright, so we revealed the special encounter for 2. And I'm just going to move this over. Hit the continue.
You hurry down the rope and prepare to dive into the deep wood. Guards watch nervously from the top of the wall. Following the blood trail dragged through the underbrush is no problem for those trained in the ways of the wild. Heading deeper in, the shadows consume you, and the sound of the town quickly dies away to be replaced by an oppressive silence.
So we have to resolve a Deepwood event card. So it's one of these. Targets the Oathsworn with the lowest defense. So that's either the witch or the cur. We'll choose the witch. perform a survival check, difficulty 4. If she fails, she loses a health. Alright, so difficulty 4. We're going to roll 3 dice. 2, 3, 4. We did it. Good job.
There is a gentle sobbing as you approach an open space between the trees. Weapons drawn, you crouch and shelter behind trunks as you work your way towards it. Hanging from a branch, lashed by vines that dig deep into his arms, is a young boy, struggling to catch each gulping breath. The vines above him are twisted like a rope, run through with broken weapons, pots and bones and sticks. They clatter slightly in the swaying breeze. Any motion would cause a tremendous racket. His belt has been torn and lies several feet below him in the leaves, a large black hammer still tucked into it, never drawn to fight off whatever did this to him. Tam, the banksmith's son, his half-open eyes showing the unnatural orange you saw before. He scans the woods with a hypnotic gaze, as if looking for something. The large bulk you have been following lumbers into the tree line past this clearing.
Last time we tried to free Tam, and it did not go well. I don't even think there was a way to free him. I think it just, crap happened. He was an illusion, I believe. I definitely don't want to kill him, although he was an illusion. I think he's already been long since dead. But let's try to sneak past him. So we all gain a defense
There are
token.
several options open to you, but which route is best to take?
And then we're going to do a reasoning test, difficulty 4. So we all gain a defense token, and then we do a reasoning test 4. Alright, the defense token thing is good. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to start with 2 defense tokens. That's good. We lost a lot of health. Okay, so now I'm going to choose the warden here. He's got 3 redraws. We got to pass a 4 check. And I am going to roll 4 dice. That is horrible. So we're going to pay one of his redraws. Roll this. I'm going to pay again. I'm getting angry now. I only have 1 more. I'm blowing his whole redraw pool on this check. Oh my gosh. Alright, so we fail. No matter how hard I wanted to pass this thing.
You make it only a few steps before he sees you. Tam locks onto you and immediately begins to scream and thrash about, creating a cacophony from the objects in the vines above. You go immediately on the defensive. The boy is killing himself. The barbed vines round Tam cut deeply into his neck as he thrashes, draining the life from him. The orange leaves his eyes with his last breath. You feel it before you see it. A primal fear washes over you. You see 2 cloven hooves, then gaze slowly upwards into the trees, to be met by 2 giant orange eyes staring back.
I really wanted to save the boy. So when we chose to get the defense token that, we're going to protect the innocent, we meant it. I was trying to save this boy. I failed. I spent 3 reroll tokens on this dang thing. So, anyways, if these cards were in better shape, so for example, if I would have drawn 4, See, blank, blank. I mean, look at that. That would have been horrible. So it doesn't matter. They're all going back because we're starting the encounter. So I don't know if it's possible to save that boy or not. Gamble seems like a nice guy. So it's saying open the mystery box. And yeah, we start chapter 2. I'm going to go ahead and hit pause on that. So chapter 2 begins. Going to move all of our dice out of the way here. And I know we're going to do this in the next video, but I'm going to move this to chapter 2 or counter 2 and hit the button. And look at that. Isn't that awesome? And these miniatures are painted too. So our starting spots, as you can see, are anywhere along the edge. And we will take care of all this, and then we get to see this. We'll take care of all this in the next round, or next video. Thanks for watching. As always, stay awesome.